Rico Blu is a 28-year-old Puerto Rican hip-hop artist and producer from Elyria, Ohio. He recently just released his newest project, Magenta EP, If You Only Knew. It's on all music streaming services, and it's drawing inspiration from Earl Sweatshirt, Kendrick Lamar, Isaiah Rashad, and Frank Ocean. His sounds are definitely going to capture a piece of your mind with the sonics of his music and lyrics. Jose Martinez Perez. I'm really grateful for you on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's been a long time coming. So,
I'm so excited for you. I really am, for many reasons. But let's start with this. Your name in real life is Jose Martinez Perez, but then your stage name is Rico Blu.
yes.
So what is the story there?
So, Rico Blu, I was going by my name for a while. It was just Jose. And I was just like, there's so many Jose's out there. So, like, I try to, brainstorm something unique. So, Rico, that comes from me being born in Puerto Rico, Bayamon, to be specific. And then Blue is my favorite color. So, drop the E for some flair, and then you get a brand out of that. So,
That's
yeah,
really
that's where
cool.
Rico Blu comes from.
When did that happen?
Right after COVID, I was in a collective, and I kind of just parted ways with them. Still very good friends with them. Um, but yeah, I just figured I just needed to, rebrand, retransform, and yeah, that's how it came about, and it just kind of stuck. And then people started calling me that in real life, and I was like having to get used to
Yeah.
both mediums. So yeah, that's where that came from.
You have a lot of talent.
Thank you.
I've listened to your work, and I'm curious if that just is natural, or was that something you had to work on?
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely had to work on that. I've been singing since I was 9, and then I started writing poetry when I was like 11, 12, and it just kind of turned into raps. I call him my big brother. He gave me his old iPod Classic with instrumentals on it, and I was just like writing my composition notebooks. And so it kind of just transformed from that into doing like talent shows in high school, with my friend Will Cherry. He's also on the Cleveland music scene. And yeah, it just kind of transformed from there. It kind of started taking it more serious after high school, and ran up a credit card to get equipment to start out, and then it just
Got to start somewhere. It's okay.
making music wherever I could, like in my friends' living rooms, my bedroom.
Are you like literally making music? Meaning like the sounds in the songs, you make those?
Sometimes, yeah. Recently I've gotten into producing a lot more of my stuff, but overall, like, yeah, I record and engineer myself in my room, and I program, a lot of things, but I give it more a humanized feel to make it seem like, give it the illusion of like I had like a big band in the studio or something like that. But yeah, no, everything just on my laptop for right now.
Isn't it amazing what we can do?
Yeah.
I think a lot of us can relate maybe in different ways, but just with the world that we live in now and all the technology.
Yeah, no, my iPhone has been like my office since I was like 15 years old. So
I
yeah.
think a lot of you would probably agree that it's yours as well. I mean, that's, I think, pretty common, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot we can do with just a device in our hand.
And then there's the whole detaching a little bit from that. Do you take those moments?
Yeah, I still have troubles with that. I still have trouble because you have access to so much, and like it's so many resources that you have on your phone, on your laptop. So when you have like basically like the whole world in your hand, like it's hard to kind of stray away from that, but it's good to have those moments of like waking up and not going straight to your phone, waking up and just taking that moment to, okay, we've been given another day. Let's not go into all that chaos right away. Um, but yeah, it's still, you gotta find discipline and balance to not go astray.
Do you have an abruptly authentic moment? And it might not be a moment. It could have been a time of your life that made you maybe switch paths a little bit or, continue in a different way, or was there anything abruptly authentic?
Yeah. So yeah, I got in trouble back in 2021. Um yeah, I ended up, unfortunately getting a DUI, and that definitely changed the trajectory of my life. I had to do a complete 180 on a lot of things, to really look myself in the mirror and take full accountability of what I was doing with my life, no matter it was from, you know, making music with all my friends and meeting so and so celebrity, like, and just getting wrapped up in that ego and mindset where, I lose myself in the vision completely of what I'm doing. And so like, yeah, when that happened, it was a full switch. I mean, I had to be more real with myself, more authentic with myself to progress in a positive way, in a positive light for myself. Um, but yeah, I think that moment was like the switch. It was just like, okay, what are you really doing with your life? Is this what you want to do, or is this what you want to do? Just kind of finding again that balance, and really again just taking accountability and putting my energy in the right things to take care of my family and be there for myself fully as well. So,
Looking back, I don't know if this applies to you, but isn't it funny how something so tragic in our lives can end up being such an eye opener, such a life changer? Do you feel like that with what happened to you?
oh yeah, absolutely. That was definitely like the biggest eye opener, if anything. I'm still alive. So, like that's the biggest thing that
You're
I see
talking
every day.
to a woman that completely
Yeah.
gets that. Yeah.
Mhm. And and so yeah, I think even like experiencing loss in family, like experiencing loss in friends, whether it's quite literally or just the relationship just isn't there anymore. Like you kind of mourn and grieve these things, but like when something happens to you in that type of way where either you could have taken somebody or taken yourself, it really like shakes you to the core, and you have to bring up a lot for yourself to really see what you want to become after that moment of given another chance at life, so
I know it's really deep when you think about what you're saying. Being in the music industry, is it hard? Because, and I don't know, maybe this is just a label that I put on musicians and it's incorrect, but I just think of partying and bands and like clubs and you're in these venues. Is that hard for you to be around that atmosphere after what happened?
sometimes, like I always think of my friends now, like leaving shows and stuff, like, okay, be careful, and just because anything can happen from anybody, not just myself. Now it's kind of easier because of what I've gone through, and gotten through, to kind of realize like my surroundings. Like when I go to a show, it's my job. I see it as my job. I'm going there. Yeah, we're having fun overall. Like I'm here to entertain whoever comes out to a show. But at the end of the day, it's my job, and I have to treat it as such, because if I go mess anything else up, I'm not gonna have that job or opportunity anymore. So now it's kind of easier to navigate. Um, those kind of environments to protect my energy and protect what I've worked for to be there.
It's almost like you appreciate it more, I bet, and are more grateful
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah, especially, like, being more present and just not just going to a show or, going to a gig to just get, then not having the greatest performance you could put on, or not being able to communicate with fans or new fans or people that just appreciate your work that you just did because, yeah, you're not able to appreciate that because you're in that mindset.
Which is the most messed up mindset ever.
Yeah. And, yeah, no, I think it is a lot easier now, the
So you're
things that I've
sober.
I'm not sober, no, like, I'll, smoke, uh, and, I'll drink on celebratory occasion, but it's not a constant thing anymore in my life because I was able to find moderation. This is not to, you know, take away from what I've gotten or what I've been through and gotten through, or take away from, your sobriety or anything,
Oh
but
gosh, no.
everybody's story is different,
Yes.
everybody could handle what they
I was just gonna say to you, I really appreciate your transparency
Yeah, absolutely.
because I that's one of the worst feelings that I have is someone in my presence that is afraid to say, "Hey, I drank," and that I'm gonna like lose it or something. Because the truth is, I'm not, and I know everyone isn't like that, but I am. My gosh, I don't even know how many a year and months sober.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And I will not ever drink again because it just didn't serve me, even in the circumstances, and that's what I guess I'm saying I appreciate, is everybody is different.
Yeah. Absolutely, and it's not to say me saying, like, I've done moderation, I've gotten better, like, there have been times where, like, you get back into it, get into a certain scene, and then, like, it kinda gets a grab on you again, like, I've dealt with that, especially, like, I moved to Pittsburgh in July 2023, and so, I'm away from my family, I'm away from, like, my strong structure support, and, that's not to say that I didn't have one of my best friends out there and other, special people out there, to support me and stuff, but there have been times where, like, I'm like, "Oh, I'm getting into that zone again, and I need to not," and just remind myself of, "Okay, this is what happened before, do you want this to happen again?" And really just, again, take that time to evaluate and reflect and, again, get out of that space
Yes,
and mindset.
and that's what it's all about. That's why we're all unique, that's why we all have our own journey, and I don't criticize anybody's journey.
Yeah, no, yeah, everybody's choices are different, we're all unique in our own ways to get to that, next journey that or step that we need to take for ourselves. Um, Also, can I ask you a question?
Of
Is that
course you
cool?
can. There's no rules on this show, so d if you wanna interview me, that's fine.
How did you navigate, especially, being, like, the best meteorologist in Cleveland and, like, having, that audience? How did you navigate having that audience and also having to navigate your personal family life and, like, facing those, like, both at the same time when your, moment happened for you?
Well, I navigated I withdrew myself for a while from everything, and by that, I mean, I didn't look at social. Um, I kinda went quiet for a while
Yeah.
because I had to just think and take care of me.
Mm.
It was so hard. Um, I was able to stop drinking immediately, which is I'm very thankful for that. But I navigated through a ton of therapy, which then turned into life coach, which I still do. And with every day, I found myself getting stronger, you know? And so hope. And I never lost hope.
Right.
Never lost hope. And at the end of the day, I think that that's what drives us all in some way, shape, or form. It was horrific when the YouTube video came up for me. I didn't even watch it.
I didn't even get to see mine. So
Well, mine went viral, and that was really hard, and I didn't watch it when that first happened because I just couldn't think about it, and I did watch it. My therapist, was part of my therapy to watch it, and it was almost like watching, like, outer body experience, if I could describe that. Kind of like watching and thinking, "Oh my gosh, was that me?"
Right.
Because even, in the couple of months that had passed at that point in my therapy, it's almost like, why did I ever do that? It for me was such an awakening.
Right.
It was such an awakening. And I just wanted to get help. And so that really gave me strength. I would not be here without the therapy I had. And now the life coaching, I just wouldn't, you know?
Were you ever able to, like, look at yourself and say sorry to yourself and forgive yourself?
I had to. It involved a lot of crying.
Yeah. I do the same.
A lot. Well, that means a lot because a lot of men wouldn't say that. And I love that.
It's okay to cry. You can't just bottle it up. That's like, again, putting the world on your shoulders for what?
But I appreciate the question. That means a lot.
Absolutely. I appreciate the answers.
Yeah. I mean, no, and I'm never afraid to say it.
It's
And
all
I
about
mean,
transparency.
yeah, it is. It is. And I believe in forgiveness. And I couldn't be more sorry. As we've been talking about, you're a rapper. And I feel like that has a stigma with a lot of, alcohol, substance abuse, whatever it may be. Do you see any value in creating a space that takes that focus away?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important for artists that want to have that kind of lifestyle, especially you never know what that person has been through too, you know, um, to have a space to go to not be around all that or see their peers, be um indulgent in that type of lifestyle, where they can now have a space to go to be able to express themselves freely and not be judged if they're not gonna go up to the bar with their free drink tickets that they got, or, they have to deal with their friend, like, God forbid something happens to their drink or something, and now it's a whole, other show that they have to deal with. Um, yeah, I think it's very important for young artists to have that kind of space, um, because it's gonna be able to provide an atmosphere for their fans, whoever likes their music and their message, to be able to go also to that space and show up and be, again, their authentic self, and to not have to have that influence on of the, like, normalized culture
Yeah.
that, hip hop can be looked at as, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's super important that there are spaces provided for that.
Rapping gets a bad rap.
Unfortunately,
What would you say to those that
it's an expression. It's how you know primarily people of color. That's how we express ourselves. Um, it's never a bad thing, but some people won't know if they don't come from that place. You know, and that and again, going back to the last question, that's why it's important to have those spaces of nonviolence, and violence could come in many forms, like alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. So when like I love my peers in the Cleveland community because there have been people that have provided those spaces for young kids that want to make music, be able to go to a space and be able to rap how they want to rap and not be judged and not be, oh, he's a rapper. Oh, he's not going anywhere with his life. You know, like, no, we need to bring that voice up because again, it's going to expand and touch on like a lot of things that again, people won't understand, but also somebody else is going to relate to that in their community. And again, it just bands everybody together.
Do you think a lot of it too is just there's a overall closed-mindedness to things?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because especially rap is often perceived as aggressive, you know, but even when it sounds aggressive, it's still feeling. That's still that person's feelings. And that's also somebody else hears that they were just probably going through the same thing. It might not be like the aggressive feeling. But also it's the expression of it all. It can make other people feel comfortable to feel that feeling.
As of right now, where do you see yourself in a few years?
In a few years, I see myself taking care of my family through music, really solidifying myself within music. I don't care if it's on a grand stage or behind the stage, like I just want to be able to help in any capacity, whether it be my friends or just myself, build my brand bigger. I have a new brand with my best friend called Clay. It stands for Carry Love Around You. So it's going to be an affordable streetwear brand.
I love that.
Yeah. And, eventually I want that to grow so much where, a percentage of the proceeds could go back to women and children's homes. And then eventually, like years now, I want my niece and nephew to have that business for themselves.
God bless you.
Pass down generational wealth. But yeah, I want to goals. I have a lot of goals.
And they're all attainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just what you put into it.
So yeah, those are some of my goals, and yeah, I just want to be the best version of myself every day when I wake up.
Are you into any new music at the moment? Are you creating as we speak?
I'm producing a lot more. So I'm just like making beats and doing more solid production work, mixing and mastering.
So, like making beats. Can you please explain to a woman that does not understand what are you like talking like
So like just like, you know, grabbing samples from old songs, chopping them up, putting drums around them or any other chords and stuff, or just building something from scratch. Just starting like I like to start with my beats and my production like chords. Like I love piano chords, like seventh chord. But yeah, I'm constantly creating, I feel. Like even if I don't like get to the sounds, like I'm always writing stuff. Like writing down my thoughts, writing down like a couple of bars, like to something I might create in the future.
That's so cool.
Just to get my thoughts out and my ideas out. And not just stuff them in here with everything else. Um, but yeah, I just dropped a EP. It's a short collection of songs. It's called Magenta EP, If You Only Knew. That's out on all music streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, etc.
Oh, that's so great.
So yeah, it's crazy that I'm on here talking about it.
I love that. So we can find you anywhere.
Yeah, RICOBLU, space in between that.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, at Rico Blu Music on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok as well. So those
And
are
you
my
mentioned
socials.
Spotify, obviously,
Yeah, Rico Blu on there.
and
as well.
Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm so grateful to speak with you. And thank you
Likewise.
for being so open about your journey.
Yeah, of course.
And I think you should write a song for Abruptly Authentic, and we'll have you back.
And we'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good to see you.
So good to see you as well, Miss Hollie.
What advice would you give to new moms or parents?
I'm not a parent yet.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, biggest pet peeve.
You have to have a pet peeve.
Mean people, yeah. I don't like when people are mean. Be nice to each other.